The cost of an American education. The dilemma students face. Due to the cost of a college education in the United States, students have to decide on how to pay for their college education. When trying to decide on what college to attend, the realization of how much debt they may incur becomes a reality. Trying to navigate the student financial aid and loan process is an overwhelming one. For students who do not qualify for financial aid or have not received scholarships, the expense of their college education can cost up to thousands of dollars. This expense can vary on which college students choose to attend. However, even students who do receive financial aid and scholarships still have out-of-pocket expenses to cover. The balance that students owe for tuition and additional expenses can add up once interest is applied. The average cost of a two-year community college is about $6,000 a year, plus living expenses if you are unable to commute. The average cost for a four-year college is around $12,000 a year for tuition, plus living expenses. Depending upon your degree choice, other expenses may be necessary, such as a laptop, tablet, and other supplies. It would reduce some costs if students attended a two-year college and then transferred out to a four-year college. German students do not have to pay tuition fees, provided that they are able to complete their study programs within a designated amount of time. In Denmark, Sweden, Austria, and the European Union, exchange students and students do not have to pay tuition fees. Students only get a 6-month grace period after graduation to start repaying their debt. Most graduates find it difficult to find a job after graduation in their field of study. In order to gain experience, a lot of students will take an entry-level job. However, graduates need to gain experience, and for some, this is their first job. Unfortunately, these entry-level jobs usually do not pay well. If a student cannot gain unemployment or cannot afford to pay their loan payment, it can cause a hardship. Students may need to file for a reduced monthly payment agreement or a forbearance. If in the event you default on your student loans, it can impact your credit and the IRS can garnish your income tax return. In rare circumstances, if you file for bankruptcy, a hardship can be requested to have your loans forgiven. If your credit is poor, it is difficult to refinance your loans and the interest rate will skyrocket. An article from PR News discussed how graduates that engage with a financial advisor usually do better navigating their finances compared to no help at all. Could free college work in the United States? The topic is obviously up for debate, and many politicians believe it could work. There are several states that have implemented programs to offer some type of free tuition at community colleges. New York is the first state to make public college and university tuition-free for residents who come from families that earn less than $125,000 or less per year. The Excelsior Scholarship Program only covers tuition, and in order to maintain eligibility, students must obtain 30 credit hours a year and uphold the GPA requirement. One of the other stipulations is that students must live in New York for as long as they have attended college under the program. This scholarship is beneficial to students and families who are unable to qualify for financial aid, and it makes college more accessible to thousands of working and middle-class students. How European colleges work and are able to offer free tuition. The European model is based upon their tax system. When Europeans pay taxes, it acts like a community pool that goes towards everything. Germany has fewer colleges to offer, so it becomes easier to control the cost. Germany is limited to about 400 universities. Many European colleges offer vocational education, which in turn reduces costs as there is less a demand for higher education. With vocational education, students can enter trades with experience and training. However, there is something to be learned about how other countries offer free college tuition. In order to help fund these educational programs, they must pay higher taxes. On average, citizens in countries that offer free tuition pay over 30% in income taxes. For example, Germany has one of the best college programs and even offers free tuition to international students. But They have one of the highest income tax brackets compared to other countries. According to the 2014 OECD tax comparison, Germany has a tax wedge of 49.4%, which is almost half of someone's income. The United States has a higher percentage of students enrolled into continuing higher education because the cost of college makes it more valuable. The UK stopped offering free tuition since providing free public university was actually showing that it was reducing the quality of higher education. In addition to reducing quality, it made access to educational opportunities difficult to students due to caps on enrollment. So, in many ways, it did the opposite of what was intended. Free higher education is not a concept that works everywhere. Is free public college such a radical idea? The answer is no, but trying to find the solution to the free tuition dilemma in the United States would be difficult. The educational system would need a complete overhaul. Our tax base would need to be adjusted in order to supplement the colleges to be able to operate at a sufficient level. The bigger question would be, what would happen to all of us that have student debt if tuition became free?